I wanted to share a few nuances that can change for you, especially if you are an entrepreneur, and especially if you're an online entrepreneur. Actually, whether it's online or offline, a few things that made a huge difference for me, and a few things that can also make a difference for you. So we all know now, whether it's online or offline, if you are growing a business, if you are working on really impacting other people's lives, one of the most important things that you can do is really share your heart with people, share what it is that you do with people, so that they know that there is a possibility for them, so that they know that, oh, you can change their lives in a certain way, which means that online, for example, you have to really give value, right? Whether it's online or offline, we have to give value, right? But here's a trap that so many of us get trapped, get stuck in, is a lot of the times we think that, for example, like for me, like in the past, it would be like, oh, you have to do this webinar to launch something, or you have to do a Facebook Live so that you can get paid this, or you have to, all these things that we've been told to do, so that we can get people into our programs, so that we can, launch a program, or so that we can, like whatever it is that we're doing. And I'm not saying that there is anything wrong with all that. So here's the point that I'm trying to make. The trap we get stuck in that will block you every single time is when we are doing the Facebook Live, when we are doing the webinar, when we are doing, even like a live event, just for the purpose, right, and with the expectation that I am doing this so that they can buy. Does it make sense? As opposed to doing this because I want to give value, as opposed to doing a Facebook Live or a webinar because you want to really like change somebody's life, which means that when we are doing it, that means that whether the person buys from me or not, I will do it. Not because I'm not doing it because I'm expecting them to buy something from me, right? That doesn't mean that we don't focus on growing our business, right? That means that when we give, we give. Right? That means that when we're giving, right? Of course, sometimes we can sometimes, hi Rashida, sometimes we can, after we've given, right, a lot of people will say, hey, how can we take this deeper? Or you can offer how they can take it deeper with you. That's one thing. But just that expectation, just that doing, the reason why I'm saying this is that so many times I've heard so many other entrepreneurs say to me, hey, good morning, Rashida, say to me, I've done 5 Facebook Live, nobody bought, so I'm not going to do it anymore. Also, I got disappointed in Tiana, and so I'm not going. So that's not the point, right? The point is that when we give because we want to give, when we give because I'm thinking of this person, or I'm thinking of this person in my audience, or I'm thinking of all the people in my audience, and I don't know that when I share this with them, it's going to change their lives in a certain way. When I share this with them, it's going to trigger some sort of shift, and I'm going to share because of that, right? And just continuously doing that with the purpose that with the intention in mind that I'm giving service, I'm changing somebody's lives, right? Sophia says, yes, so important. No, I'm not in this mindset either. I go live when I want to share an insight, interact with the souls. Yes, good point. Yeah, for me, it has made such a huge difference. When I do a Facebook Live, right, and I'm not saying that like this hasn't always been the same for me. For me in the past, especially when I first encountered online marketing, it was all about, okay, you do this so that you can get clients, you do this so that you do a webinar. But I noticed that, and I know that a huge shift happened the moment that I do something and I get so excited, and I get, like, first of all, the way that you communicate, the way that you actually show up is so different, right? When like the sole purpose, the initial purpose is, oh my God, I can't wait for them to get to listen to this. Oh my God, I can't wait for them to hear this, what do you say, this content that I have to share with them. Does it make sense? And then like everything shifts. What I have seen that happens from that space is that when we give, right? And of course, I always have business goals at the beginning of the month. I always have business goals. But what I notice is that when we give without expectation, it's one way of circulating energy, right? Energy, when it goes out, some way, somehow will come back to you. Whether it's from that particular person you gave to or from somebody else, it will always come back to you, right? But when we are open enough, to allow it to come to us any way of shape and form, and then we can really give without expectation, right? When that human being is in front of us, I can give without thinking, oh my God, you are my meal ticket, or you are my, the person that, and then I gave with expectation, right? First of all, everybody can feel it, right? Everybody can feel it because we are human beings. We all operate on energy, whether we can say it in those kind of words or not. People can sense it, people know, and they don't actually trust that very much, right? There's something really magical that happens when we can go out there with the other, the person I'm going to share my insight with their best interest at heart. Whether they buy from me or not, this is something that I want to share with them with the intention that hopefully it will trigger some changes and trigger some shifts in them, right? And again, like something really, really magical happens there. I got an image, I get emails actually quite often of people really literally, like they're like, oh my God, you've given me so much. I can't wait to pay you back. Like that kind. And then naturally, actually, out of nowhere, where you didn't expect to get a client, for example, like magically, right? Because you are circulating your energy without any attachment to what kind of results will come to you. I hope this makes sense. And for me, the big difference it's made is really freely giving, without really having any attachment to the result that comes to me. But also it gave me freedom to just be me, right? It gave me freedom to just be me and to just share from my heart. Whether some people like it, some people will like it, some people may not necessarily like it, which is completely okay too. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Giving without expectation, there's such a big magic. There's such a big magic in that. Not doing a Facebook Live, not doing an Instagram post, not doing all that because, oh my God, this post is the one that is going to give me, my client. This, just give because you're giving. And then just offer, just make your offers because you are making your offers. Whoever is ready to take you up on that offer will take you up on that offer, but not necessarily because I gave to this person, then I expect from that person to give me back. It's like there's something sticky in that kind of situation. The other thing it does, right, for me, the other thing it has done for me to free myself like that is it has given me so much joy to be able to share content, right? I share a ton now, like I've seen all over the place. I have shared so much content, right? Hey kid, yeah, so much content. My content is all over the place, almost like all the time. I have some sort of content out there. Recently, let me tell you this story. Recently, I went about like a week or two. Oh, my phone is ringing. Oh, I wonder who that is. Give me 1 second. Okay? No. Okay, let's see. Okay, thanks, bye. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. So the other thing is, last week, something happened, not last week, like a couple of weeks ago. I don't know what happened. I went I usually sent like at least one newsletter, one email to my list a week. And then I went like a couple of weeks without sending an email, and then I came back and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I haven't sent you an email in a couple of weeks. It feels to me like it's been forever. And then one person or a couple of people emailed me back. He said, no, it hasn't been that long. I just saw you 5 minutes on YouTube. So like when we share that much content, because I have now found the freedom because I don't have that expectation because I don't get disappointed because I'm expecting a certain sale from somebody because I put a video out or I made a post. Then I found freedom so much so that now I create content like that. Like I can create any kind of content like that. And so that really came easily because now I really have no expectation. What I do is a show. Like I give content, and at the same time, on the other side, I have so many different levels of ways of people to work with me, right? And every now and then I make certain offers. So when people come to my website, when I'm like sharing content out there like that, a lot of people will see my content, and then from my content looking for my website to see what I have to offer, and then they buy stuff from me like that. You see what I mean? So it has made it so freer and then so much simpler for me to make sales. And I think that has been a big shift. That shift, it's very subtle. It has created a big difference. Giving without expectation. And also the other thing that I want to share with you about that is how, again, like I've shared earlier, how sometimes I can, because we have all these expectations. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit thirsty. We may have expectation, and then somebody may say, oh, I did 5 Facebook lives and then no one bought, or I did or I sent 5 newsletter and no one bought, or I've done all these things and then no one bought. This is kind of like a lot of the things we did today, right, Tiana? And then like we give up, and then we say, well, I did 5 Facebook live, or I did 10 Facebook lives, or I did 20 Facebook, whatever the number is. But the thing is, if we're not showing up, we can't just expect to have maybe, okay, I'm going to sell this, and then before I sell this, let me do a few Facebook lives and make this offer, and then, people have to trust us. People have to know that they can trust you. People have to know that people have to maybe have tasted a little bit of what you can do for them, and so on and so forth. The only way that can happen is if you show up, right? If you share your content, if you share your heart, if you share your love with your audience, with the people that you are there to serve. And the more you do that, the easier it becomes. Actually, the more you do that, your people, the people that need your help the most, somehow, some way, they will rally around your work, or they will really naturally show up, and you'll make it so much easier for you to make sales, sell your programs, so that you can take the people deeper into your work, into a deeper transformation, but also for you to keep really expanding bigger and bigger and bigger, and having much more of an impact in the world, right? And I believe that's why we all do, at least most of us, that's why we all do. And if we go from the premise that that's why we do the work we do, if we do the work we do because we are thinking about and we are thinking of the people that we do the work we do for, then it's so much easier and it's so much simpler to just show up for them, right? I always say this: when you can transform, right? I used to hear this expression a lot, and for me, I don't believe it's true anymore. The expression is like, when you do what you love, then money will come easily. I don't think that is true, actually. For me, I had to change that expression. When you do what you love, right? When you do what you love, and it gives value to the people that you do it for, and you do it out of love for the people you do it for, then there is no limit to what you will do. for the people you do it for. I feel like I'm bubbling around here, but I hope that it makes sense, right? When we always have in mind, when the first thing that comes to mind is, okay, let me think about the people I'm going to share with. Let me think about the people that this will be of service to first, and how it will be of service to them, what kind of transformation it will bring to them. When I think about that and it gets me excited, there's no limit to what I can create from that space. There's no limit from that I can create from that space. But when we go in from the perspective of, oh, let me get a client, how do I get a client, and we don't have them in mind, it gets so much harder actually. When we're only thinking about how can I get a sale, without thinking about how can I, like all the excitement that comes with us making a transformation for the person that we are trying to be of service to, it becomes a little bit harder. It becomes a little bit complicated, right? Always them first. Always the transformation. Like, I get so excited, right? Especially when I think about, like, oh my God, this person is here, is having this kind of challenges, and I have the solution for her or him. And I think in my mind, oh my God, if only she did this, it would change her life. And this is what it will look like when she gets there. And I get so excited, actually. I get so like giddy. I get so, it lights me up. Then it's so much easier. It's so much easier to create a transformation from that. And it makes it so much simpler when you can go out there and then talk about your programs, or when you can go out there and share your content, because you're sharing for a purpose, and you're sharing for the purpose of anybody that sees this content. If it resonates with them, it'll transform them, it'll create a shift for them, whether or not they decide to buy anything from me. I'm still so grateful, all right, that they actually just gave me the opportunity, right, to even share that with them. For me, that's actually big. For me to be able to, for anyone to sit there or to be present enough to even watch my videos, like, it's such a huge transformation for me. That alone is like, I feel so grateful for that, right? Sometimes people say to me, oh, I wrote all these posts and I get likes from them, I get shares from them, but no one buys, and it's so frustrating. Really? I'm like, how about the gratitude of, oh my God, I feel so grateful I even got likes, right? That person, whether they buy from you or not, if they have shared your post, or if they have even just liked your post, some way, somehow, they have contributed to you expanding, right? They have contributed to you maybe being of service to somebody else, because somebody else may just see that share or that like, and some way, somehow, may come back to you and say, hey, I don't know how I found you, but I found you here, and this was really interesting, and I want to work with you. Or I read some of your content and it resonated with me and it changed my life, right? And so, yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you. Big shift, actually small shift, big change. Small shift, right? This small shift alone. Share because you want to share because you want whatever insight came to you, will change somebody's life. And share without expectation. But I think I know that it can be a little bit confusing, but share when we're sharing, give when we're giving without any expectation. But at the same time, we always have our vision for, hey, what I want to create in my business, what kind of growth do I want to create? How many people do I want to get in my program? Without really making one equal to the other, right? Because how many people I get in my program can come from anywhere, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be dependent on this other part of the work that I do. I hope it makes sense. But at the end of the day, it's all the same. It's all about circulating the energy, right? Energy is energy. Whether you get it from here or here, energy, when it goes out, it comes back to you. It goes out, it comes back to you, right? It's circulation. It goes out, it comes back to you. It goes out, it comes back to you. But if you are not putting energy out, how can you expect anything back, right? That's why we get very stagnant. That's why we get very stagnant. Anyway, so that was my share with you. Now apparently somebody is trying to get in touch with me over the phone. I don't know exactly who it is, but I'll try. I'll try to figure it out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, those of you that are here live, and if you are watching the replay, I am also grateful to you also for watching the replay. If you have any question that come up while you watch this, don't hesitate. I'm always here. My heart is so open. This tour has been, like, I can tell you this, it has been the best thing I could ever have done with my business. And when I decided to do it, I had no idea what it was going to be like. But somewhere, somehow, deep inside, I felt this push that I wanted to do it, right? And my soul was calling me calling me to do this. And when I took the leap and I did it, it wasn't until I was really in the midst of it all. It wasn't only until I was like right in the middle of it that I realized, like, awakening after awakening was just hitting me left and right. I was like, there's no way I could have gotten all the awakenings that I've gotten sitting in my office in Denver, Colorado. There's no way, right? Me going out there really made a huge difference. And I am so grateful. I am so grateful to everyone in all the countries that I have been to. And I'm so grateful to have gotten this chance and this opportunity to do this. Thanks, Elizabeth. You asking where I am right now? Right now, I am in Paris, France. I'm in Paris, France. This hotel is like, I think I'll probably, like, I know I'll have a vlog for you later on. I'll show you all the places that I've been. It's been really, really amazing and beautiful. Sometimes it's been challenging, right? And I'll share all that with you. Sometimes it's been like, ooh, this is really challenging, really a reflection. And I had to reflect a lot on a lot of things. You live here, Elizabeth? You live in France? Oh, do tell. You must have missed. If you live in France, then you missed something really cool this morning. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, we had a really, really good time. Yeah. So, oh man, I wish you could have made it. Yeah. So we had a beautiful session this morning, and then later on, Tiana and I headed out. We headed out to Le Printemps, the shop, the mall, and then we headed out to, it's actually next to each other, La Galerie de Lafayette. We had a really good old time there. We got to hang out. Like, I'm telling you, every single place I have been to, I've always found an angel that took me under their wings. Even when I didn't ask, there was always somebody to show me around. It's like in every country I've been there, in Paris is where I'm staying the longest. I'm leaving now. I'll be back on Monday. I'm coming back on Monday. So, but my total stay in Paris has been 4 days. I got here the day before yesterday, today, tomorrow. So I'll be here 4 days in total. But every other countries, in some countries, I've been there for less than 24 hours. But within that time, I swear to you, I've done things that I bet people that have been there for a week, visited for a week, probably didn't get a chance to do. Why? Because I've always had an angel that always said, hey, you want me to show you around? Let me show you around, and then really taking me to really key places in their countries, whether it was in London or in Brussels or in Geneva or where else did I be, in Utrecht, in the Netherlands, or in Paris, or wherever I've been. So it's been really, really awakening. It's been actually very spiritually awakening for me to do this. I will come back home a completely different person. Most important, I think the most important thing that has happened to me throughout this tour has been a newfound humility, a newfound humble mind. It is pretty incredible, and it's a very beautiful space to be at. It's a very, very beautiful space to be at, because no matter where we go, whatever is acceptable in one country is not acceptable in another country. They could even be like just a few miles apart from each other, right? Whatever is acceptable 1 hour or 2 hour train from here to here is not acceptable to in another place. So it's been very humbling it's like sometimes within just hours I'm like, it's like cultural shock from here to there, boom, from here to there, boom. And the other thing I also notice is the energy is always different from one spot to another. The energy of the place is always different. The energy of people is also always different, which is really interesting, right? It's very, very interesting dynamic to observe, right? Anyway, so that's that. Thank you again so much for hanging out with me. I love you so much. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel by hitting the subscribe button right below this video, and also make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you are notified when I post videos just like this one. Bye.